Hey everybody, the date of today is April 29th, 1986. A pretty famous day in sports history. And if anybody does not remember what happened on that particular day at Fenway Park, Roger Clemens struck out 20 Seattle Mariners. So we're going to replay that game right now here in 2016, a mere 30 years later. We're going to play it again. Strat-O-Matic 1986 Red Sox against the Mariners, and we're going to be using the exact lineups from those games, or from that game for both teams. The only exception being Boston has one difference, and that is at shortstop. Ed Romero is filling in at short for the shortstop that should have been there in the real game that I didn't have a card for. So I believe that was Glenn Hoffman. So since I don't have a Strat card for Glenn Hoffman, it is going to be Ed Romero taking his place. So Ed Romero is the shortstop. All right, we're ready to go. Roger Clemens on the hill, and he'll be facing Spike Owen. Now this was in April of '86, so this was before the trade that sent Spike Owen and Dave Henderson to the Red Sox and helped them in their pennant run. So this is early on in the '86 season. So Spike Owen is a Mariner at this particular point in time, and he'll be facing Roger Clemens to start off this ball game. How many strikeouts will Roger get? All right, the first roll is a 4-8. So Clemens against a left-hander, a 4-8 is a strikeout. So right on cue, Clemens gets the K on Spike Owen for out number 1, and that'll bring up left fielder Phil Bradley. Bradley, a 5-9. 5-9 off of Clemens is a ground ball, second base C. So it's a ground ball to the second baseman, Marty Barrett. He will make the play very easily. Quickly 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Ken Phelps. Yep, he's playing first base today in this game, not DHing. Gorman Thomas is the DH. So Phelps is at first, and Alvin Davis is on the bench. It is a 6-10. 6-10 for Clemens against a lefty. Is a ground ball third base X. And the third baseman, Wade Boggs, is a 2. So he is a 2-rated third baseman. D20 calls for a 5. So a 2-rated third baseman and a 5 is a ground ball C. So easy play there for Boggs. He makes the play. And the inning is over. 1, 2, 3. Nothing doing for the Mariners. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Seattle nothing and Boston coming to the plate. All right, bottom of the first, and pitching for Seattle in this game is right-hander Mike Moore. And on the season in 1986, Mike Moore was 11-13 with an ERA of 4.30. So Mike Moore is on the mound. He'll be facing Dwight Evans to start off the ball game, or start off the bottom of the first, I should say. Evans against Moore. It's a 6-8. 6-8 for Moore against a righty is most likely a line out. And we got a 1. It looks like a misprint here because it should be a 1-13 for a single and 14-20 for a line out. So it looks like the 3 on there didn't get printed correctly. Because there's a big gap there, so I'm going to make the assumption that it should be a 1-13. So here's the roll. It's an 18, so it doesn't matter. It's a line out to short. So Dwight Evans is out. 1 out, and Wade Boggs steps to the plate. Wade Boggs. It's a 6-7. 6-7 for Moore against a lefty. 6-7 is a single if it's a 1, or it's a line out to second on a 2 through 20. So Boggs doesn't have very good odds here, just 5% chance. He almost got it. It's a 2, but it's still an out either way. It's a line out to second for out number 2. So 2 line outs, 2 hard hit balls, but 2 outs. And that'll bring up Bill Buckner, who's DHing today as Don Baylor is playing first base. Don't ask me why, ask John McNamara. Here's Buckner. It's a 3-4. So Buckner against a right-handed pitcher, 3-4, is a pop out to the second baseman. So he pops it up to Danny Tarble at second. And the inning's over. So 3 up, 3 down on both sides of the house. After 1 inning, we are scoreless. And Stormin Gorman Thomas stepping to the plate to face Roger Clemens. And of course, Roger Clemens on the '86 season had a record of 24-4, ERA of 2.48, 238 strikeouts in 254 innings. All right, here's Gorman Thomas. Thomas, a 3-8. 3-8 against a righty is a walk. So Gorman Thomas reaches base on the walk. And the actual game was won by the Red Sox 3-1. So we'll see how this plays out. Here's Presley with Thomas at first. It's a 6-9. And a 6-9 is a strikeout. So strikeout number 2 for Roger Clemens. And that'll bring up Ivan Calderon. Ivan Calderon. It's a 6-10. 6-10 is a catcher X. Catcher is Rich Gedman, and he is a number 3 rated catcher. It's a 14. So we'll check our catcher defensive rating on a 14, and that's going to fall under, he's a 3 rater, so it's a pop out only. He avoids the pass balls. It's strictly a pop out. So pop out for Calderon for out number 2. And that'll bring up a very young Danny Tartabull. 4-6. 4-6 for Clemens is a strikeout, number 3, to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Mariners. Top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. All right, bottom of the second, and Jim Rice to lead things off against Mike Moore. It's a 6-11, and a 6-11 is a home run. So a home run, now this is a diamond, but we're not using the ballpark effects. It's strictly going to be a home run. So Jim Rice goes yard, and the Red Sox grab a 1-0 lead, and that'll bring up Don Baylor playing first base today. Baylor a 4-5. 4-5 is a walk. So Don Baylor draws a walk. He's probably more known for being hit by the pitch than he is walking, but he'll take the base. Here's Rich Gedman, the catcher, and number 6 hitter in the lineup. Mike Moore looking for a double play if he can get it. It's a 3-10. 3-10 is, he got his double play. Ground ball pitcher A, so that's a 1-6-3 double play. And quickly 2 outs. And the base is empty. So Gedman hits into the rally-killing 1-6-3 double play. That'll bring up the number 7 hitter, Marty Barrett. Barrett a 4-10. 4-10 is a potential home run, except for the fact that Barrett is weak against right-handed pitching. So actually, if he rolls the 1 through 12, it'll hurt him. It'll only be a single. A 13 through 20 would be a double. So in this case, he's hoping for the 13 through 20. And he only got a 3, so it's a single. So it's a 2-out single by Marty Barrett. It would have been a home run had he had normal power against right-handed pitching. But he has weak power, so it's a single, 2-out single, and that'll bring up Steve Lions, Tigers, and Bears, oh my, the center fielder. And that's a 3-4 against Moore, and that's a ground ball first base A, so that will end the inning. But the Red Sox do pick up a run on the Jim Rice homer, and after 2 complete, it is the Red Sox 1 and the Mariners 0. Roger Clemens back on the hill. He has a total of 3 strikeouts so far in 2 innings. He'll be facing his future teammate Dave Henderson to lead things off. It's a 4-7. And a 4-7 is a strikeout, so that is strikeout number 4. As the K corner goes up over there, strikeout number 4. And that'll bring up the much-traveled veteran Steve Yeager, former Dodger catcher. He is the catcher for the Mariners in this game. It's a 2-5. 2-5 is a potential for a single. 1-17 will be a single. 18-20 will be a line out. It's a 5, so he got his single. That is the first hit for the Mariners in this game, and it came from the number 9 spot, Steve Yeager. All right, we're back to the top of the order, and Spike Owen. Owen struck out his first time up. It's a 6-7. So Clemens against a lefty. 6-7 is a walk. So that is walk number 2 by Clemens. And it puts runners at first and second with only 1 out. And the dangerous Phil Bradley coming to the plate, followed by Ken Phelps. Clemens looking maybe to turn 2 here. 3-6. 3-6. It's another walk. So that will load the bases. The bases are loaded with only 1 out, and the ever dangerous Ken Phelps stepping to the plate. Phelps on the season hit 24 home runs in just 344 at-bats, so he certainly can slug them. So we'll see what Clemens can do here. Bases loaded and 1 out. Needs a strikeout or a double play in the worst way. It's a 5-7. 5-7. He might get his double play. It's a ground ball, second base X. And the second baseman is Barrett, who is our 2-rated second baseman. The roll is a 5. So we'll check second base rating. He has a 2-rated second baseman. And number 5 is a ground ball A. That is a double play, 4-6-3. So tailor-made, 4-6-3 to get the slow-running Phelps to end the inning and keep the Mariners off the scoreboard. And we go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0 Red Sox. And that'll bring up number 9 hitter Ed Romero. Again, taking the place of Hoffman because I don't have a card for Hoffman. It's a 3-11. 3-11 is a single. So Ed Romero making his presence felt with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third. Back to the top of the order, and Dewey Evans. Mike Moore again pitching from the stretch. It's a 3-5. 3-5 is a potential home run for Evans. 1-16 will be a homer. 17-20 will be a double. It is a 19, so it's a double. And Romero will stop at third base with nobody out. Why risk it? So runners are at second and third, nobody out, and you got the heart of the order, Boggs, Buckner, and Rice coming up. That's why they didn't send the runner. So here is Boggs with runners at second and third and nobody out. Infield playing back, they'll give up the run to get the out. It's a 5-10. Mike Moore, 5-10. Fly ball center field X. Center fielder Henderson is a number 2 rated center fielder. And it's a 17. So a 17 with a 2 rated center fielder. Center fielder number 2, a 17, is a fly ball B. That is a sacrifice fly to center field. So Romero will score as Boggs brings him in on a sac fly. And the Red Sox now lead it 2-0. Evans holds at second base. 1 away for Bill Buckner. Buckner a 1-6. 1-6 is a ground ball to shortstop A. So that will freeze Evans at second. Buckner will be out number 2. And now you have to think about maybe walking Jim Rice, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to walk Rice with first base open. Why take a chance? Why mess with it? They're going to walk Rice and pitch to Don Baylor with 2 on and 2 out. It is a 6-2. 6-2 is a ground ball back to the pitcher. So Mike Moore was able to make the play. That's the second time he's fielded a ground ball. So they limit the damage to just 1 run. Could have been worse. They had 1 run in on that sacrifice fly, and after 3 complete, it's the Red Sox 2 and the Mariners nothing. And Roger Clemens back on the bump. We'll be facing Gorman Thomas to start things off here. Thomas walked his first time up. One of three walks in the game already for Clemens. He has walked 3 and struck out 4 in 3 innings. It's a 2-5. 2-5 is a strikeout. So give him strikeout number 5 for Roger Clemens. Strikeout number 5. Here's Presley. He struck out his first time up. 5-10. 5-10 is a walk. So that's walk number 4. So Clemens, a lot of walks and a lot of strikeouts. Expected the strikeouts, didn't really expect all these walks. But there's one on, one out for Ivan Calderon. Calderon, a 5-8. 5-8 is a strikeout. So strikeout number 6 for Clemens here in the 4th inning. 2 outs, and then it'll bring up Danny Tartabull, who struck out his first time up. That's a 3-10. 3-10 is a strikeout. So strikeout number 7. Clemens works around the walk by striking out the side. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Score still, Red Sox 2, Mariners nothing. Rich Gedman to lead off the bottom of the 4th. He grounded into a double play his first time up with the bases loaded. 2-5. 2-5 is a fly ball to right field. So 1 away as he flies out to Calderon in right. And that will bring up second baseman Marty Barrett. So Marty Barrett steps to the plate. Barrett singled his first time up. It's a 2-10. 2-10 is a fly out to left field. So he flies out to the left fielder Phil Bradley for out number 2. And that'll bring up Steve Lyons, center fielder, who would later be traded to Chicago later in the season. Right now he's a Red Sox. Lyons 6-5 against Moore. 6-5 is a line out to third base. So he lines out to Presley at third. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox. We've completed 4 with the score Red Sox 2 and Mariners nothing. Okay, we start the 5th. Dave Henderson, the batter, struck out his first time up. To 5-6. 5-6, he strikes out again, and that is strikeout number 8 for Clemens. Strikeout number 8 here in the 5th. And that will bring up Steve Yeager. The Jägermeister, Steve Yeager. He got a single his first time up. He's got the only Seattle hit so far. It is a 2-4. 2-4 is a pop out to third base because we're not using the ballpark effects. So it's a pop out to third for out number 2. And we're back to the top of the order and Spike Owen. Owen has struck out and walked. Yet to put bat on ball. 2-6. He does this time, but he pops out to the first baseman Baylor to end the inning. Only 1 strikeout that inning for Clemens. He is at 8 strikeouts through 5 innings, but he is twirling a shutout, and the Red Sox maintain a 2-0 lead on the Mariners. And we'll start with the bottom of the order, Ed Romero. He did single his first time up. And we've got a 5-11. He's going to fly ball left field X. That's to Bradley in left. Bradley is a 2-rated left fielder. The roll is a 20, so that is going to be an out. So Bradley fields that play from, or bat from Romero. That fly ball from Romero, and there's 1 away. And we got Dwight Evans, top of the order. He doubled his last time up that helped produce one of the runs. It's a 3-3. 3-3, and he is plunked. He is hit by the pitch. So Dwight Evans reaches on a hit by a pitch. Some more. A little wild there. And that'll bring up Wade Boggs with Evans at first and 1 out. Here's Wade Boggs. It's a 6-10. 6-10 is a fly ball to center field. So 2 away as Boggs flies to center again. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. So he's yet to see the hit parade yet. Here's Bill Buckner. Billy Buck. Buckner a 4-6. 4-6 is a walk. So Bill Buckner walks. As Moore continues to be a little wild. Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs for the dangerous Jim Rice and no place to put him. I don't think they want to walk the bases loaded, so they're going to pitch to him. It's a 2-6. 2-6. Maybe they should have walked him. 2-6 is a split chance. 1 to 10 for a double. 11 to 20 is a single. They're both star, so only one run can score either way. It is a 14. That is a single. But Evans will score since it was a star. Buckner will hobble over to third. And the Red Sox now have a 3-0 lead with still 2 outs. And Don Baylor, the batter, 2 outs and runners at the corners for Don Baylor. It's a 1-4. 1-4 is a fly ball to left to end the inning. So the Red Sox pick up another run. And after 5 complete, it is the Red Sox 3 and the Mariners 0. Phil Bradley will start the 6th against Clemens. Bradley grounded to second and walked. It's a 4-4 for Clemens. 4-4 is a ground ball to third base X. That's Wade Boggs, who's a number 2 rated third baseman. And that's a 3, so that could be a hit. We'll see. Those low numbers are not usually good. But he's a 2 rated third baseman. And a number 3 is a ground ball C, so he was just able to get it. So Boggs made the play. 1 away. And that'll bring up the dangerous Ken Phelps, although he did hit into an inning-ending double play his last time up. It is a 4-11. 4-11 is a fly ball to left field X. That's going to be Jim Rice's territory. Rice is a 3. And the roll is an 11. That's probably an error check, most likely, and it is. So Rice is an E8. He's an E8. I'll roll the 2d6s and check his E8 rating. It's a 6. So we go to E8 and a number 6, and that's a 2-base error. 2-base error on Jim Rice. So Jim Rice, unable to make the play. E7. 2-base error on Jim Rice. Puts Phelps at second base with 1 away. And Stormin Gorman Thomas steps to the plate. Should be good for a strikeout, hopefully. 4-4. 4-4. Nope, it's a ground ball to third again to Boggs, who is a number 2 rated third baseman. It's a 5, so I'm pretty sure he makes the play because he made it with a 3 last time. So let's see here. A 2 rated. Number 5 is a ground ball C. Ground ball C means that the runner advances, so must have been one of those slow dribblers, and that allowed Phelps to get to third base. So runner at third with 2 outs for the hound dog, Jim Presley. And Clemens is in a slump here. He's faced 5 batters in a row with no strikeout. So here is Presley. It is a 1-7. And there is a strikeout, 1-7. So he gets his strikeout, strikeout number 9, but still way below his pace of 20. So after 5.5, I should say, it's still Red Sox 3 and Mariners 0. So the strikeouts might be low, but he's still pitching the shutout. And here's Rich Gedman to lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Red Sox. It's a 4-9. 4-9 against Moore. Split chance, 1 to 3 is a triple. 4 to 20 is a single. Can you see Rich Gedman getting a triple? 1 to 3 would do it. And he did it, a 3. That's a triple. Must have been in the triangle in right center field. And the ball must have kicked around down there. So Rich Gedman, a triple. In fact, he had no triples on the season in 462 at-bats, but he gets one there. Now the infield will have to come in to try to shut the run off. So here's Marty Barrett with the infield in. It's a 3-6. 3-6 is a fly ball center field B with a question mark. But I don't think Gedman is one to try to score. He's run rating of 9. And center fielder Henderson has a -2 arm. So they're going to just let that go as a fly to center, 1 away. And that'll bring up Steve Lyons, and they'll leave it up to Lyons to bring the run home. Infield still in. 2-8. 2-8 is a ground ball first base B. So let's check and see about runner advancement. Ground ball B, if no runners are forced, they have to hold. So no advancement. as Lyons grounds out to the first baseman Phelps. 3 unassisted for out number 2. And now it's up to the number 9 hitter, Ed Romero, to bring Gedman home. He did all that work with a triple, but he's been stuck there now for 2 batters. So here's Romero. It's a 4-6 infield at normal depth now. 4-6 is a strikeout because he has not reached his point of weakness. His point of weakness starts next inning, so that is a strikeout. So Mike Moore, kudos to him for pitching out of a leadoff triple. And we've completed 6 innings at Fenway, and it's the Red Sox 3 and the Mariners nothing. Roger Clemens back on the bump. His point of weakness inning starts next inning in the 8th. So right now he's good to go, facing Ivan Calderon. Calderon the batter. And Clemens through 6 innings has, looks like 9 strikeouts if I count them correctly. It is a 2-3 for Calderon. That's a fly ball. I'm sorry, I'm the wrong way. 2-3. Ground ball to third. So it's a ground ball to Wade Boggs for 1 away. So the strikeouts are low, but the zeros are coming up on the board. Here's Tartable, who struck out twice, both times. 1-6. Can he strike out again for the Golden Sombrero? Yes, he can. 1-6 is a strikeout. Strikeout number 10 for Clemens. Golden Sombrero has been awarded to Mr. Tartable. There's 2 away, and Dave Henderson, the batter. He's also struck out twice, both times. It's a 6-9, and he strikes out again. So he gets the Golden Sombrero. Lots of hat fitting in this game. Strikeout number 11, and Clemens and the Red Sox will be glad to send over a couple complimentary sombreros for them to try on. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's still 3-0 in favor of the Red Sox. Now, Mike Moore will be starting his point of weakness inning, so any combination of hits and unintentional walks that total 3, and he will reach his point of weakness. Right now, he's facing the top of the order, and Dwight Evans, who he hit last time. It's a 2-8. 2-8 is a fly ball to center field for out number 1. 1 away for Wade Boggs, who was hitless, unbelievably. It's a 4-8. 4-8. He's not hitless anymore. That's going to either be a double or a single. If it's a 1-12, it's a double. Anything else, it's a single. It's a 3, it's a double. So Wade Boggs with a 1-out double. And here's Bill Buckner, Billy Buck. It's a 5-11. 5-11 is a fly ball left field X. That is Phil Bradley territory. He is a 2-rated left fielder. It's an 8, so that could be an error check. Shall see. Left fielder number 8 is an error check. Bradley is an E1, so most likely he will be making the play. It's a 4. It's a 4 under E1, so that's a fly ball B. Fly ball left field B. So 2 down. Boggs had to hold. And now Rice is up again. And do you walk Rice again? First base is open. He's homered and singled when you pitch to him. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out you walk him again. So that's what they're going to do. 2 outs and Don Baylor at the plate. Trying to make him pay for that decision. 6-9. 6-9 is a single to left field, so perhaps he did make him pay. That's a single to left field. There's no restriction on stars on this one. Boggs has a run rating of 12. And the left fielder, Bradley, is an arm rating of +1. So that would make it 13. It was being held on. That would drop it to a 12. So, and I believe you add 2 when it's coming from left field. Let me pause that so I can make sure I get this correct. Okay, I think I had that correct to begin with. The runner on second base, Boggs, was being held, so we're going to subtract 1 from his run rating, which is a 12, so that makes him an 11. However, Bradley is a +1, so that makes him a 13. And this is just in the advanced rule only, and there's some other checks for super advanced, but this is just for the advanced purposes. So it's basically a 1-12 shot. And so they're going to send him. They're going to send Boggs. Bradley's throwing to the plate to Yeager. And Boggs is safe. So Boggs scores on the single by Baylor. And Rice will motor over to third on that throw. He'll take the extra base. Puts runners at the corners. And the Red Sox now lead it 4-0. And that's almost going to be it for Mike Moore. In fact, I think it will be, since we have Rich Gedman come to the plate. So timeout for pitch and change. Okay, new Seattle pitcher is left-hander Lee Guterman. He'll be facing lefty Rich Gedman with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 3-8 for Gedman against a lefty. 3-8 is a line out to first base. So he lines out to the first baseman Phelps to end the inning. And that's going to close the book finally on Matt Moore. And we go to the top of the 8th with the score, Red Sox 4 and Mariners nothing. Okay, we close the book on Moore. 7 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all were earned. He walked 4, although 2 of those were Jim Rice intentionally. Struck out 1, gave up the home run to Rice, and he also hit Dewey Evans. So now we go to the top of the 8th, and it'll be Steve Yeager to lead things off. Clemens, now the 8th inning is his point of weakness inning, so we'll keep a check on him. It's a 4-6. 4-6 is a strikeout, so he seems to be doing fine. That is a strikeout of Yeager. 3rd consecutive strikeout, because he struck out the last 2 in the previous inning. So he's got 3 strikeouts in a row, and here's Spike Owen. Owen, a 6'10". 6'10" is a ground ball third base X. That is Boggs. He's a number 2 rated third baseman. That's a number 2, so that could be trouble. That might be a base hit. A 2 and a 2 is a base hit, so that's a single. Spike Owen snuck it past Boggs for a base hit, and that is just the 2nd hit of the ball game. Yeager had one earlier in the 3rd. Here is Phil Bradley stepping to the plate. It's a 5-11. 5-11, a chance for a home run because he does have end power. So we go to the D20. 1 to 15 will be a homer. 16 to 20 will be a fly out to left. It's an 11, so it's a 2-run shot for Phil Bradley. And just like that, the Mariners are on the board with 2 runs. They've cut the lead to 4-2. And Clemens is 1 batter away from his point of weakness. Here is Ken Phelps. The bullpen, Bob Stanley, is loosening in the bullpen. Here's Phelps. 6'10". 6'10" against a lefty is a ground ball to third, so Boggs will have another chance. It's a 10. That's probably an error check, which it is. Boggs, with his error rating, is a 21. So not that good. 6. E21, a 6 is a 1-base error on Wade Boggs. So a 1-base error on Boggs. E5. So Boggs, that's the 2nd error of the game for the Red Sox. And now that'll bring up Gorman Thomas, and Clemens is just about ready to exit this ball game, I believe. Here is Thomas to 1-5. Let's see if we get one more strikeout, and he does. Gorman Thomas strikes out. So it's a 1-5, but with the hound dog Jim Presley coming up, they may go to the bullpen here, and I believe they are. So that's going to do it for Roger Clemens. He pitched very well, but starting to fade a little bit. So the veteran Bob Stanley is coming in to try to help him do things right and get out of this. So we'll be right back with the pitching change. Okay, so we can almost close the book on Clemens, although Phelps at first base with 2 outs is his responsibility. But so far, 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 4, struck out 13, and a slight correction, Mike Moore only pitched 6 2/3, not 7 2/3 as I previously written down. But now Jim Presley, who is the tying run, is at the plate, and he'll be facing Bob Stanley, who will be an ace this at bat. Oops, that's a different game. So Bob Stanley steps in to face Presley. 6-10. 6-10 against Stanley. That's trouble because N is a home run. 1 to 15 is going to be a home run. So Presley could take Stanley deep if it's a 1 to 15. And he does. It's a 9. So Stanley, not helping him do things right, gives up the tater to Jim Presley. And all of a sudden, we have a tie ball game at 4. And Clemens actually now is going to allow 3 runs in his outing because the Phelps run is his responsibility, although it is unearned. Still doesn't matter. It's still a run. So his final book is 3 runs, 2 earned. So Presley greets Bob Stanley rather rudely with a 2-run homer, and now we have a tie ball game. Here's Ivan Calderon. Calderon to 2-5. 2-5 is a split chance between a double and a single. 1 to 12 is a double. And he gets a double. So Calderon with a double. And that'll bring up Danny Tartable. And Stanley may be short for this game also. Bullpen loosening again for the Red Sox. It is 3-8. 3-8 is a fly ball to center field for out number 3 to end the inning. But the Mariners pick up 2 2-run homers to tie the game, and we go to the bottom of the 8th, tied 4-4. Now the Red Sox have their work cut out for them as they try to take the lead right back. Lee Guterman, starting his 2nd inning of work, be facing Marty Barrett. It's a 1-7 for Barrett against a lefty, and they've got a chance for a hit. Well, they do have a hit. It's just a matter of what it is. 1 to 3 is a double. 4 to 20 is a single. It's a 3, so he gets a double. Marty Barrett. Marty Grinning Barrett grins this time with a double. So he leads off the inning with a double, and here is Steve Lyons. It's a 6-7 for Guterman against a lefty. He's a ground ball second base X. That's Tartable. But he's a 4-rated second baseman, which is definitely not good. And it's a 9, so he might get fortunate and go to an error check. We'll see. He does. His error check is 41, so maybe he didn't get lucky on that. That's off the charts. So he's going to make an error almost guaranteed here. It's just a matter of what kind of an error. It's an 11, so that is a E1. So an E1 is going to put Lyons on first base with an E4 and move Barrett to third. Nobody out. So an error now for Tartable. So 1 error for the Mariners, 2 for the Red Sox. And here's Ed Romero. Ed Romero's Guterman is in a bind here. They're going to have to play the infield in. They can't give up a run. They just tied the game. They can't afford to give up any more runs. 2-7. 2-7 for Romero against a lefty is a ground ball shortstop B, so that will bring home a run. Ground ball shortstop B will bring home the run. So the fact it's a B means that Lyons is out 6-4 on a fielder's choice. And I guess unless you're playing the advanced, playing the infield in maybe in these cases don't really matter because it's all about the runner. Oh, I stand corrected. I stand corrected, folks. Let me redo that. Let me pause and correct. Okay, I stand corrected on ground ball B. If the runners are not forced, they got to hold. So that is a force play where they force Lyons at second. Romero will reach. So we're back to runners at the corners again. This time with 1 out. So the infield can turn the double play and try to get out of this. Dwight Evans, the batter. It's a 6-5. And a 6-5 is a ground ball second base C, but with this triangle here, we go down to this drop down part. 1 to 2 is a single. 3 to 20 is a line out to short. So 3 to 20, he lines out to short, and it is a 20. So he lines out to short. For out number 2, he lines out to Spike Owen, and the runner is still at third with 2 outs. And Wade Boggs. So it's up to Wade Boggs to bring home Marty Barrett. Can Boggs do it? It's a 6-8 6-8 against a lefty. He did it. It's a single to left field. So Wade Boggs comes through with a base hit, and that will score Barrett, move Romero to second base, and the Red Sox grab a 5-4 lead. And the bullpen activity going for both teams right now, but Bill Buckner, lefty, is up to face the lefty Guterman. They're going to leave Guterman in there with lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's a 4-11. 4-11 is a fly ball left field X. That's Phil Bradley territory, who is a number 2. And it's a 2, so that could drop in. We'll see. See how that plays out. Those low numbers on D20s will get you. And it does drop in. It's a single star. So that could be another run. In fact, it is another run because Romero will score. Boggs will move to third base. So RBI single for Billy Buck. Puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. It is now a 6-4 game. And timeout for a pitching change for the Mariners. All right, right-hander Bill Swift is in to try to get out of the rest of this jam here with 2 outs and 2 on in the bottom of the 8th. And the Red Sox leading 6-4, facing Jim Rice, the ever-dangerous Jim Rice. He's 2 for 2, a homer, a single, and has been intentionally walked twice. 6-8. 6-8 is going to get walked again, this time unintentionally, but it is a walk. So that will load the bases. Not sure if that was Swift's original intention, but that's the way it turned out. Now the bases are loaded for Don Baylor. And this is the 3rd time he's coming up following a Rice walk. And in both instances prior, well, one instance prior, he got a base hit after it. So here is the pitch to Baylor. It's a 6-5. 6-5, he's going to capitalize here. 1-8 is a triple. 9-20 is a single star. So either way, runs are going to score here. It's a 20, so that's a single star. So Baylor with a 2-run single. All these runs are unearned, by the way, thanks to the error earlier on in the inning. Boggs will score, and Buckner will score. Rice will move to third, and the Red Sox have taken back the 4 runs they gave up going into this inning, and they now lead it by the score of 8-4. They got their 4-run lead back. And Rich Gedman is in. And we got another pitching change for Seattle. Okay, Bill Swift unable to do the job, so Matt Young, the lefty, is in to face lefty Rich Gedman. He is the 9th batter of the inning. Rich Gedman with runners at the corners and 2 outs. It's a 2-6. 2-6 is a pop out to short to end the inning. Okay, guys, we're ready to start the top of the 9th. The Red Sox just clobbered the Seattle bullpen for 4 runs to make up for the 4 runs they gave up in the top of the 8th. And we got a new first baseman for the Red Sox. This time McNamara will not leave an aged player at first base. He will bring in Dave Stapleton to take over at first base for Don Baylor. So Stapleton is in. And the new pitcher, since it's not a save situation, they're going to go ahead and use Steve Crawford, although I believe Calvin Schiraldi is in the bullpen. And he'll be starting out facing the center fielder, Dave Henderson. Steve Yeager is the scheduled batter to hit second, but he is being called back, and Alvin Davis is swinging a bat on the on-deck circle. He will pinch hit. But right now it is Crawford against Henderson as Seattle tries to battle back again, but only got 1 inning to do it. It's a 5-7. So off of Crawford, a 5-7 is a ground ball second base X. And the second baseman is Marty Barrett. So we need to get the second base chart out. Marty Barrett is a number 2 rated second baseman. The roll's a 14. So a 2 rated second baseman. Number 14 is a ground ball C, but with bases empty, the letters are irrelevant. It's simply a 4-3 ground out for 1 away. And now stepping to the plate is the aforementioned Alvin Davis. He is going to pinch hit for Steve Yeager. So Alvin Davis steps to the plate. It is a 5-7. So we're off of Crawford again. 5-7's a single star. So Alvin Davis with a pinch hit single. And that's 1 away. And that'll bring up Spike Owen. but he could be pinch hit for as well. They're checking the bench here for the Mariners, and they're going to turn to John Moses, a center fielder. He will pinch hit for the light-hitting Spike Owen. So John Moses will pinch hit here in the 9th. See if he can keep the rally going. He's a switch hitter against Crawford, the righty. It is a 5-9, so everything's off Crawford's card so far. 5-9 is a ground ball, second base C. So that will move Davis up to second base, but now there are 2 outs. So 1 out away from wrapping this up. And Phil Bradley stands in the way of Steve Crawford wrapping this up. It's a 5-4, so again we're under the pitcher card. Crawford, 5-4 is a pop out to shortstop to end the ball game, and the Red Sox hold on to win by the final score of 8-4. No save in that ball game since it was a 4-run lead. But Bob Stanley, who actually gave up the lead by giving up the home run to Presley, gets the win, and Lee Guterman takes the tough luck loss. He was charged with all 4 runs in the 9th, even though Swift gave up an inherited run. 2 of the runs were unearned because of the error on Tartable, but that doesn't matter. It's 8-4. We'll be right back with the totals and a wrap-up. Okay, final line score for the Red Sox: 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. They left 10 on base. For the Mariners, 4 runs, 5 hits. They made the most of those hits with those 2 homers. 1 error and 6 left on base. Again, winning pitcher was Bob Stanley in relief, and the losing pitcher was Lee Guterman, who started out the bottom of the 8th. We actually got the last out in the bottom of the 7th and started out the bottom of the 8th when all things went wacky for the Mariners. So that's it from here. Roger Clemens didn't get his 20 strikeouts. He did get 13, but he was done in a little bit by the walks and the gopher ball, and did not even qualify for the win thanks to Bob Stanley blowing the save. So that's it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that little walk through history, and that's going to do it. So I'm back to my Atlanta Braves season for History Maker Baseball. Get a few more games in, try to knock out some of those 161 games on the schedule. But it's nice to take a break every once in a while and do a one-off game of something else just to break the monotony. So that's what this game was all about. So I hope everybody enjoyed that, and I'll catch everybody down the road.